Hello everybody, and welcome to yet another edition of the Boxie Breakdown. I am Boxie Nigma, your host of this ordeal in the big blue chair yet once again. And if you want, you can call this edition the spooky Halloween edition of the Boxie Breakdown. Or not, depending upon what you'd like to do. And I'd like to say that was planned, but it was not. It just so happened there was a flashlight sitting right next to me. In any event, welcome to yet another edition. Last week, great week. I had my big birthday bash, which is always fun. A couple weeks later, due to holidays and due to a bunch of stuff going on and, weather, so to speak, a lot of stuff, family stuff, a bunch of crap. But the birthday week did happen last week, my big birthday bash. Had a bunch of my friends come out. That's really cool. It's cool to see where you are in life, see who cares about you, who doesn't care about you, because you got to keep in mind, it's a Saturday night. Everyone's got something else they could do. Everyone's got somewhere else they could be. But if they decide to be with you, that must mean they care about you, at least to a certain extent, no? But, you're moving right along. This week, a very cool week at 6:30 p.m. right now on a Saturday night. I'm about to embark on my very first bachelor party. I'm a groomsman for a very good friend of mine, Briz. And I'm pretty stoked about it. It's pretty cool if you think about all the people that one person could choose to be their groomsman, and your very own Boxie Nigma has been chosen to be one. It's a big honor. It's one I take very seriously, and I'm stoked to be going out and celebrating tonight. So that is what I am doing. But you don't come here to hear about bachelor parties. You don't come here to hear about birthday parties. You come here to hear football picks. So let's get right into it. Last week, another pretty impressive week. 4-2. So we've gone 4-2 or 5-1 in the last 4 weeks. So we're on a bit of a roll, Don't count your chickens before they hatch. But we're on a bit of a roll. And this week, we hope the roll continues. We're going to start right here in New York. And it's not going to be the New York Jets because they're on a bye week. It's going to be the New York Giants. That is my best bet of the week. At 9.5-point favorites over the Miami Dolphins. Miami's terrible. I mean, that team is kind of like Texas Rangers in a way. Kind of like the Texas Rangers. When you suffer a debilitating last-minute loss like both Texas and Miami did last week to Denver in the fourth quarter, a bit of a comeback win for Denver, how do you come back if you are the Miami Dolphins this week? You don't come back. It's as simple as that. Giants look good. I was there a couple weeks ago when they beat a very good Bills team, and they got to win this game because after this comes the Patriots, the Packers, the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Jets, the Saints, and all those are going to be terrible, hard games. So my first pick, my number one pick, New York Giants, take them 9.5 points over the Miami Dolphins, and I don't even consider that going out on a limb all that much. Second pick, Patriots, 2.5 points over the Steelers. Don't get me wrong, Steelers are on the comeback. Steelers are looking good. They went to the Super Bowl last year, and it's in Pitt. But you gotta take the Patriots at less than a field goal with your second pick. Why? Tom Brady's looked ridiculous this year. The Patriots, with the exception of one game in Buffalo, have looked pretty much easy money all the way through. You do gotta keep in mind also the fact that Tom Brady is 6-1 all-time over the Steelers, and the Patriots are coming off a bye. Sure, the Steelers looked good last week, but they were playing the Cardinals. I'm sure me and however many viewers I have out there can form a team that could compete with the Cardinals. So, do you put a lot into the win that the Steelers had over them? I personally don't. Second pick, New England Patriots. My third pick, and this is where it gets tough. Looking right at the board, you got to consider Detroit over Denver, but Stafford may not play. And because he might not play, if he doesn't, you're going to lose that pick. So for your third pick, I'm going to be taking the Cincinnati Bengals by only 2 in Seattle. I understand Seattle's a hard place to play. Whatever, though. Seattle's looked bad all season. They got a pretty good win over the Giants. Other than that, they've looked very this whole way through. And on top of that, I really do think that I really do believe that Cincinnati's okay. They're a pretty good team. They're 4-2. They could go 5-2, and they're also coming off a bye. I take the Bengals with my third pick. And that leads us to our underdog special, and this is where it got very tough this week. Do you take the underdog special in the Browns game? Browns have looked good in San Francisco, but San Francisco, they beat everyone thrown in their way, and pending a massive comeback from Tony Romo, they'd right now be undefeated. So I'm not going to touch that game, even though 9's a bit of a big spread. Also not going to touch the Texans game, because with Andre Johnson out, that may be one way you want to go, but the Texans have looked pretty good as well. I'm actually going to pick the winless, the pathetic-looking Indianapolis Colts. I understand last week you lost 62-7, so you can only go up. You're not going to lose by 55 points, 55 or more this week. You got to at least lose by 54. So I'm picking the Colts. I do think that they're not going to get their first win, but they can hang in there against the Titans. Titans aren't that good. Chris Johnson hasn't looked great. Last week they got utterly smoked by the Texans in a huge game. I think the Titans are definitely going to win this game, but I'm actually going to pick the Colts, who might actually see their only chance for a potential win in a division game. This could be it. They're 0-6. This is everything they got there on this game, and I think the Colts are going to be your team this week for your underdog special. Again, that's tough, though. I'd stay away from it. Speaking of games I'd stay away from, Sunday and Monday, both very, very difficult games, but we pick them here on the Boxie Breakdown, so we're going to jump right into that. Cowboys head to Philadelphia in what I consider to be the game of the week. I have all eyes on this game. Two teams who have underperformed thus far. You have Michael Vick and the quote-unquote dream team at like 2-4. You also have the dream team of the Dallas Cowboys, who last week, I mean, let's be honest, last week Murray comes out, he goes 250 yards. That isn't going to happen this week. This week they're going to be a little bit more prepared, but the Eagles have a bad run defense. And because of that, I'm going to be taking the Cowboys, 3.5-point underdogs. That stays 3.5, which I think it will. 3.5-point dogs for the Cowboys over the Eagles. And that leads us to the final game, Monday night, which 2 weeks ago, this is a sleeper. Who cares? Chargers are going to run right through this. But then last week, Chiefs come out, they smack around a good Raiders team, a decent Raiders team, granted going through some, extenuating circumstances of their own. And now, all of a sudden, the Chiefs are right back in the race. The end Arrowhead's a tough place to play. However, I'm going to go with the Chargers in this game. Let's be honest, the Chargers have looked pretty good against every single team they've played. They hung in there with New England, and in the first half against the Jets, they were demolishing the Jets. It was pretty much one-sided. So I'm going to go with the Chargers over the Chiefs. 3-point dogs there for the Chiefs. I'm going to go with 3-point favorites, the Chargers. Considering it's only 3, I feel like maybe it'll be a last-second field goal, but I do think the Chargers, in the end, will get the win. So to recap, my best bet of the week, New York Giants by 9.5 over the Miami Dolphins. The New England Patriots 2.5 over the Steelers. And be honest, this could be one of the few chances you get to take the Patriots at less than a field goal to anybody this year. Then you got the Bengals at 2 by 2 over the Seattle Seahawks, who are a bad team. And then my Sunday nighter, I'm going with the dogs, the Cowboys, 3.5-point dogs to the Eagles. And Monday night, I'm taking the Chargers by 3 over the Chiefs. That is all the time we have for you. I have to get going. I got to go get showered. I got to go get my fancy clothes on, my big boy pants, if you will. My first ever bachelor party. I'm stoked for it. I don't really know what to expect, but it's going to be a bomb time. So that is all the time I got for you this week. I will be back next week. If you are going out, you're celebrating Halloween, have a great time. Wear some cool costumes. And that's pretty much it. Please also have a safe time. And if you're going to be drinking, believe me, I like to knock a few down. I like a couple of Coors Lights myself. I always promote the Coors Lights here on the Boxie Breakdown. But hey, get yourself a designated driver. Or find a couple of shekels, so to speak, to pay for a cab. So that's all the time we got for you. Again, if you want to follow me on Twitter this week, you can follow me on twitter.com/BoxyNigma. Or, if you want to follow my main man, Briz, whose bachelor party is tonight, then you can follow him at twitter.com/BeTrue82. I am Boxy Nigma. I gotta get the hell out of here. Take it easy. Be well.